Okay, let's see how this works tonight. Haven't done a live stream in a while, so I had to get everything replugged in, and with any luck, you guys can hear me okay. And let's see, looking at the little YouTube studio here, it looks like my chair went down on me because I got a lot of gap here in the video. All right, so if you can hear me, let me know. If you want to mess with me, that's okay too. Okay. Looks like everything is excellent. Good comms. Okay. Good to hear. Good to see everybody again in a virtual way. I hope everyone is COVID-free, healthy, happy. As you can see, there is another big box waiting for a new home among the farm. And let's see. I just want to give you guys a little background on this because I was not expecting this printer. I got a message, someone named LeBay from DX.com, which specializes in selling electronics. And they are essentially, like a lot of these other Chinese vendors and GearBest and so forth. And they sent me an Amazon link. I'll share my screen with you so you can see what they sent me, because I like to be transparent here. They sent me a link to this printer. They asked me basically what country am I in? Is it free to make a review video? Of course, I don't charge to do videos, but just be prepared for the unfiltered response to the review. And then they essentially asked how long does it take to finish a video and post it to my channel. And I let them know basically between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on my workload. And they asked if I wanted to receive this printer. I said, sure. Why not? Where's printer number 13, right? And then they got back to me and said, well, if you buy it on Amazon, we'll reimburse you. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm not interested then. And they said, nope, no problem. We'll ship it right out. And it arrived today. And as you can see, it's, I don't know. I think this qualifies as just another CR10 clone. Based on the video, on the stuff that I've seen on the website, it's let's not ruin our faith in overseas printers. As usual, the typos and grammar and what have you are terrible. If I click through, let's go through the big pictures here. So essentially, we're looking at this strongly resembles an artillery sidewinder or maybe even a Soval. I don't know. Trevor, you could tell me what you think about that. This one, though, it looks to be direct drive. We got it looks like an LCD panel there in the bottom. I don't see any auto bed leveling. This looks very similar to the artillery sidewinder. That was a big blast last month. I know several YouTubers were doing artillery sidewinder 3D printer unboxings all at the same time. No coincidence there. Look at the printer, the spool mount up top. In a lot of ways it resembles the CR10S Pro. And of course, over here, it's the easy to assemble. Kids can do it by themselves under the guidance of adults. The kid's not doing any of the building apparently here. This just looks interesting. We have an integrated nozzle and filament runout detection, and that's all built in there. Interesting. Fast and precise to max speed of the Z-axis is 300. Okay, who cares? What else have we got? Suitable for 2PUL. Maybe for TPU as well. Okay. So being direct drive, okay, that's good for flexible filaments. Okay. And integrated structure design and silent motherboard. Okay, and we capitalized the S. That caught my eye. Okay, so it'll be interesting to find out what kind of drivers they have in there. And then, of course, the kids are all dying to have their turn at the printer, it looks like. The other, if I go to their actual DX.com website, the printer is $238, but to get it shipped over here will run you basically 2/3 the price. Interesting, right? So their total price is $4,754. So interesting. This appears to have been shipped from Amazon. Came in a big Amazon box. When I was looking through here for any kind of direct information, It's got a glass bed, it looks like. Maximum nozzle temperature is 260. Single nozzle. 24-volt system. Okay, we got 110, 220, 3.5-inch touchscreen. Nothing here really grabs my eye. Print mode, USB, material. They're really making a big push here, talking about TPU, but that's okay. TPU, PLA, APS, PTG, and wooden materials. Okay. I wonder if this thing includes any filament. We'll find out. Software, Cura et al. Oh, that's interesting they put that there. And then more pictures. A little different than the Amazon pictures, but in there you can see kind of a nice close-up. It'll be interesting to get this thing off or out of the box and look at it, because just looking at this right here, that looks like a larger heat cartridge than I would be used to. And that, yeah, Caleb, you are correct. That is ribbon cable. Yeah, that's very similar to the artillery sidewinder, what they're using. And, well, these are good questions. Keep firing away. So what they're showing here is easy to assemble, integrated nozzle. Let's see. Has merged the feed inlet, filament runout detection, and nozzle together. It's a design which makes the feed and extrude the filament more convenient. It also can detect the filament runout timely, so it's a good assistant to save filament. Okay, well that's our language barrier right there. That's all right. Suitable for multiple filaments. Again, TPU is the front of the list. And okay, they have smart resume. I'll be really curious if they have thermal runaway and other protection. I'm curious if this is running Merlin 119 or 2.0. That'll be kind of fun to see. It looks like, here's some product description stuff here. It's made of aluminum. Let's see, the shipping. Yeah, the shipping box wasn't too terribly heavy. Okay, the maximum build plate temperature is 120, maximum nozzle 260. We caught that earlier. FDM. So our print volume is 310, 310, 400, which is very similar to our CR10s, TiVo Tornadoes, our Irion Thinker S and SEs. What else caught my eye here? It's 1.75. It doesn't say anything about the board and what's in here as far as drivers and such go. Oh, there's some questions and answers. Okay, Trevor. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's see. I always get a kick out of looking at these questions and answers and the customer reviews, because every now and then, you know, they send these printers to a handful of people in exchange for reviews, and you can find out how polished some of these people are. I think one of the things we're definitely going to do is we'll pop the bottom off this thing. I'm curious, for example, about tinned wires. I'd be curious to see what it looks like. Let's see. Does it really take 3 minutes for the hot end? 200C. What is the max hot end? No, the max hot end is not 120C. Yeah, I wonder what kind of profile we'll be using, or if they include any kind of profile. Top reviews in the United States, we have 3 of them, and they're all 5 stars. And they're all very recent, from 2 days ago. 10 minutes to assemble. Excellent first-time printer. I'm still learning, but I really like the printer. Cover the glass with blue painter's tape. Okay, that's a few steps back, but okay. And fast and quiet. Okay, so we still don't know what's inside this thing for drivers. How interesting. So the way we're going to do this tonight is I set up a couple of web cameras, and I apologize in advance. The cats are in full Batman crazy mode. They've stopped for the moment, but as always, they will be guest stars in this video. So heads up. Let's see. So we got okay, of course I got the second monitor. You just saw the web view. I've got the other camera over here, kind of a high side, and I've also got a desktop one, so that if we want to get up close or what have you, see, this is me talking to you guys, and you wonder how I do it. That's all there is. One Canon T7i. So that would be a kind of a mobile camera. Don't worry, that's not my address. Apparently that's where it was shipped to. And let's go here. Let me look in the buffer, see if anyone has any questions. I think I'm caught up. We have a good, what have I got? I got a green here. Good latency coming from YouTube. And it's just about time to crack this guy open. Again, the company is called NEWEREAL. NEWEREAL. The one thing that struck me as a little bit humorous, because I have that kind of dark sense of humor, is that when you do go to the, when it says brand NEWEREAL, of course, Amazon wants to autocorrect it to newsreel. So we get all kinds of things on World War II. So if you want to brush up on your reading on the Third Reich or what have you, you can certainly click that link, I guess. That's dumb. Let's see. Yeah, really, Molly. I haven't seen Molly yet. So let's get over here to the. Let's go to the 615 camera, and I'll also go to the. Let's go to the bigger one here. All right. I have the audio set up to the web camera. I usually would use the big Yeti microphone, but that's not going to work good as I walk around. I really need a more impressive knife or a dagger or sword when doing these unboxings. If you guys feel you need the camera angle moved or what have you, I can pull you back a little bit here and tip you down. Oh my God. That's like a half roll of filament. I'm impressed. I like it already. And it's somewhat vacuum sealed. Okay, well there you go. What's this? This is going to be our little toolkit, maybe? Oh, it's very red. Unpacking diagram. Ooh, a real manual? Oh my God, smallest font ever too. And it's in multi-language. Yes. Just like my air fryer, I can set it up in 4 languages. Okay, this is a 1-pager, 2-pager? Schematic diagram of accessories. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that all means. Introduction of printer. Ooh, it's got a nice little smell to it too. Okay, well. Does this thing... Well, they've got a bunch of stuff here that's showing little screenshots here, so there's hope. Print a box and open it, right? Exactly. All right. What's interesting is I'm scrolling through or skimming through this, just curious about how their directions are going to be. They show the machine base. Let me share with you here. So basically, they're doing everything in multiple languages on every step there. So what you see below in all those bulleted posts, bulleted, whatever. Boy, it's been a weekend. In multiple languages. So that's kind of nice. So I'm learning how to say machine frame, a chassis de la machine, in French. How nice. Apparently PLA is PLA in all the languages. That's funny. One of the things that's kind of neat is, and every one of these instructions being multi-language, but the one thing that I'm seeing, and Trevor, you'll appreciate this one because you have several Aragon machines like I do, one of the first things they're talking about is adjusting the belt tightness. So that's kind of cool. This looks pretty well laid out. Okay. So this looks to be our hardware. Oh, more Allen wrenches. Another. Okay, hardware. Nice. Okay, we got. I think I literally have 14 of these now. That's cool. So our hardware. That's an interesting scraper. Is it sharpened? I don't think it is. Yeah, maybe the very tip. Okay. We get, it looks like little footsies, a great big test tube, hypodermic needle. That's kind of cool. That's pretty well packed. You wouldn't want that to get loose on you. It looks like we have the belt, or the ribbon rather, that's going to go. And probably what we're also used to is a low resolution SD card. And so the nozzles, the spare one here, is a very long one. Let your innuendo run wild here. But yeah, not the very small one. So I'm wondering if the hot end is kind of like a volcano-sized heater. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. Let's not bury the manual because we will need it. All right, now, what's going to come out first? Can this come out? No. Okay. So. All right. Let's refer to the instructions because this thing's packed in here pretty good. Nope. I'm always hesitant to just grip and tug on these guys, but there we go. That's just what I wanted to do. Butter this guy loose a little bit. Because I know this has a ribbon cable. I want to make sure I don't harm that. Okay. This looks pretty well packed. This is nice. They got padding in behind the lead screws. Shrink wrap. Yeah, that definitely... let's walk this over to... Actually, I have the close-up camera right next to me. Let's take a peek at this thing. Let's swap over to... So that hot end reminds me of the volcanoes, the big long one here. What's nice is it does have a socket on there. What's really interesting is this duct that seems to be pointing. You can see where the duct ends here, so it looks like this duct is kind of, that might be right for changing. It looks like they got a neat little PCB controller here built in here where everything plugs in. But yeah, I'm curious how much airflow that's really going to get in and out of there. Okay, let's go back to the other camera. Let's see. We have wheels. Yeah, and that is pretty loose. Oh, and they have an eccentric nut, so there is hope. Okay, let's get this guy down here. Oh yeah, this does come out. Well, this is something I haven't seen before. I'm going to get rid of the jacket here now that I'm warmed up a little. So what I'm seeing inside of here, let me go back to the other camera, is it looks like you're mounting it directly on top of the stepper motor. Whereas in the past, everything could, the stepper motor and everything all bolt in. Whereas the bottom of this guy is the couplers. So that's going to be neat. Glass bed, nothing fancy there. Everything's pretty well packed in here. This guy can come out now. It looks like interesting connectors to connect everything. All right, let's get it out of the box. Let me check my buffer, see if anyone's asking questions. Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Lost the monitor. Sorry, guys. All right, how do I get you out of here without causing harm to myself? Well, that's always a good sign. One of these guys show up at the bottom of the box. All right. And I think the rear one one is missing. Yep, the rear one is. Maybe if I move you right to the very end, to see a little bit better. All right. Okay, this bed has an interesting connector. I don't reckon this almost reminds you of my computer days here, the old AT power supply connectors. That's going to be interesting. See how that goes on. I can see our lead screw. I'm sorry, I can see our limit switch in here. That feels good. Okay, we'll get rid of the box in a second. I'm just looking at a couple things here. All right, let's put you in the chair. All right, Molly, you have a new box. Okay, and it didn't fall out of the chair. All right. So this is an interesting little connector right here. I've never seen a connector like that. Okay, I do see on the very bottom here, and I'll kick over to that camera here. Hello, Fernando, I'm sorry. With my glasses in the distance, I can't see very well. All right, a little bit better view. So I don't know what this thing is. This is an interesting little connector. Let's say there's our ribbon connector for the bottom. So just to show it all off. The other thing I'm curious about, I'm looking around here for on the power supply. Where is my 115/220 option here? I can see the power supply. Well, I guess we will have to trust them. Yeah, it does have a touchscreen. All right, let's refer to their Bible. Let's be good. Let's follow their directions. Okay, and the unpacking diagram toolbox. This is going into the introduction of printer filament loading. You can get past that. Okay, this is a pretty nice manual here. Let's, again, the unpacking diagram and basic functions of the machine. Okay, but let's put it together first. Okay, so it's giving us a basic rundown. Adjust belt tightness. That belt isn't too terrible, actually. And what they're talking about is there is... Okay, you can adjust the tension of the x-axis and y-axis by adjusting the screws and pulleys. Okay, we learned how to do that in 3 languages. Let's grab, because I already have a gazillion tools here. Oh, this is kind of cool. So you turn this one way and it goes tighter, and you go the other way, it gets looser. And I can see this little guy on the top sliding. Oh, this is cool. All right. Okay, so if I go this way, this fella right here, which may be hard to see because, yeah, that's... Oop, did I go too far? Come back, come back. That's probably a little too tight, but I'll go for that. Thank you very much. That's kind of cool. Oh, Caleb, you gotta go? All right. Okay, install the framework. And here's where the joy of ergonomics bites me in the ass. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's get the tools. Okay, that's our spare nozzle. Hopefully the audio and video is okay, guys. And okay, step 1, install the framework. Take out the machine frame part and machine base from the box. Put the machine frame into the upper 2 holes. Sweet. So it should just be a matter of just dropping them in there. Well, maybe not literally drop, but you know. Let's get that cable out of the way. Wow. It's in. And then we just have to get those screws in there. Well, more kudos. They've actually labeled the sizes in individual bags of what each screw is. That does please me. I'm easy to please, right? It's too bad for that price they don't include any kind of bed leveling device, but we shall see. If you guys want, I can cut and paste the link for this machine. Wow, this does this go down further? Oh, it does, because yeah, machine does go down further. It is currently sitting on top of. There we go. I was noticing as I was putting the screw in there that, hey, this has some more distance to go. So when you first drop this in, these guys want to sit on top of the stepper motor shaft. You got to do a little wiggling to get them to go inside. And then this guy will just go right in. With any luck, of course. I don't feel like it's... Oh, really? Okay, well, this is different. So now we're dealing with Phillips. The screws are not socket. So that's fine. Okay. Maybe for once we can use some power tools. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way yet. Okay. Wow, a subscriber. Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. One side is in, and 12 viewers. Wowee. Hey, for a little channel like mine, that's awesome. All right. Oops. All right, we're going to repeat same process over here because that's what the instructions say. M5 by 40. Otherwise known as installer le framework. Well, I'm not one of the cool people that has an artillery sidewinder, although I did see one, I think it was on Reddit, burned up recently. Probably operator error somewhere there, but scary. Okay, we'll stop short. Yeah, that would have sucked to do by hand. Yay, power tools. Hey, come on. Plunk. What's this sarcasm, JDC? All right. Yay. We'll keep that handy. All right. Okay, we did step 1. And they talk about, of course, removing all this fine. What I do with old Excalibur here. Let's try not to scar anything up yet. All right. And we'll do the same thing on the other side here. How are you doing, Molly? I see you. Okay. Okay, and I suspect we have bolts put in the bottom, right? Yeah, we do. Okay, step 1, step 1.1, and step 1.12. It's interesting the way they laid these out. To their credit, these are good directions. All right, let's just make sure you guys are in tight. Crunch. Crunch. Good. All right. Next instruction. Let's see. Okay, so now, so we've done that. Hopefully the camera will focus eventually here. Sorry. Maybe. And so it looks like we have to install 2 M5 by. Okay, so we're going to attach those to the bottom of the extrusions. And skipping ahead to the next step, it looks like we're going to tighten that guy up after making sure we push it down as far as it can go. I'm trying to find where that is in English. That's the install framework. 1.1, use 4 M50 screws, and then 4 M5. So yeah, we've just done that. 1.3. Yeah, they change out with so many languages here. All right, so let's get this guy tipped over. What are you doing? Okay, and as I mentioned, they're not a figment of your imagination. There is Molly. There's the Molly cam. She is running around back here, doing whatever she can do to help. And we use the term help very loosely around here. So anyway, there's your Molly cam. All right, let's get this guy. I left the shrink wrap on the other stuff here. Oh. Well, to their credit, looks like this is held on by, well, the feet are 4, and then just 2 additional screws. So when we decide we want to look at the bottom, it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, these are the 8s. I need the M5 by 10s. Okay. And what's nice is these guys are, oh, we're going back to the, now we're back to dealing with our torque wrenches. And it looks like it's a little fun to get it through the opening here. There's a joke there somewhere. Let me see. I'm going to go back to power tools. All right. You're in. Okay. What's nice is that this requires 4 screws. They have included 5. These guys are in. And so that you're not left out, I will kick over the camera here so you can see what I've done. Okay, so back here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, it looks like we got screw here, that guy, that guy. Somehow my camera just does not want to focus today. And the bottom guys. And then we got a big blower fan here in the bottom. And then we got the fan down here for the power supply. I wonder how noisy that's going to be. That'll be interesting. Looking around here, let me get this guy tipped back up. It does have the, I think that's USB Bravo, the big connector. Okay. Put the extra screw back in there. And we'll look at our okay, do I have the right size? I do not. Okay, step 1.2, install the screw shaft coupling into the motor drive shaft. Press it down firmly and tighten the screws to fix it. Note there are 2 on each side. Yep. All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure this is the right size. You know, the other thing I would have liked, I'm going to back this off a little bit here. I would have liked to make sure that I have the flat side. Well, it's not going to matter. Here is it. Nope. It's a coupler. I was just thinking maybe I could grab the flat side of the shaft of the stepper motor, but it's going to make absolutely no difference. All right, let's get that good and tight because you know how fun those are when they aren't. All right, let's bring you over here. Rinse and repeat. Folks, say hello. I can't hear you. Okay, and I should untie this guy. Ribbon cable. Interesting. Oh. Okay, and then there is a, I'm guessing that this thing on the side must be a proximity switch. Would that be what that is? Oh yeah, I bet that is. I bet that's what it is. How interesting. Okay, and then this thing at the bottom must go in like so. Let's move my camera so you guys have a better idea of what I'm trying to do here. So it looks like this guy here is the holder, I'm guessing, for this proc sensor. That's gotta be what that is. And I just put this ribbon cable in. I really wish there was a clip. I mean, it's just pressed in there, so. Okay, fit the Z-axis proximity switch to the machine with an M8. Hey, Z1. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's like every printer we have out now is looks just like a CR10. Okay, so this guy looks like it's going to just go through here and into this, I guess. Yeah, that's just a 3D printed part. Looks like you have some adjustment as far as where this guy's going to sit. And looking at our directions, okay, we've done that, mounting the frame. Install the screw shaft coupling into the motor drive shaft. We've done the Z-axis proximity switch to the machine. With M3, we get the flat cable. And tear off the stretch film and foam on the machine. Be careful not to damage the, yeah, okay. 1.4, okay, we're on step 2, so it looks like we're gonna get to the point where we're doing the filament mount. Okay, that's easy peasy. What do I do with that? It's back here somewhere. Okay, so essentially this is just going to go in like so, and twist, and that's all there is to it. And then we have some T-nuts. Okay, I'm guessing it's an M4x8. Yep. Well, this is only the this would be the second printer I have that has a touchscreen. My CR10S Pro that I picked up. I got a great price for that. It's really hard to say no to some of these printer deals, and that had some problems. I had a bad extruder. I have a Bondtech extruder waiting to go on that guy. That's in the lineup of upgrades waiting to happen. The FT6 upgrade and the Anycubic Chiron have eaten up a lot of my time lately. It's been fun. Okay, and then where do they say to place this? Remove the consumable support. Consumable support filament. Okay, and they're not saying exactly how far to put this, but okay, well, I guess we'll have to take our best guess. And I'm just looking at the picture on Amazon as a kind of a reference here. And so that's about good, I guess. How is I always grab the wrong size wrench? Oh, come on. Get in there. Be happy. There it goes. Trying to get that T-nut to turn was a whole pile of fun. Okay. So if I widen out to the bigger camera, you can see that this guy's up. Yeah, that's not a, seems like a decent spot. Good. I'm not sure if we're going to use their filament or mine. 10 viewers and nobody's chatting. What's up? Checking my connection. Yeah, I have an excellent connection. Nobody's talking. Perhaps they're enjoying my soothing voice. Somewhere in this pile is my phone. So. Yep, there it is. Okay. Let's clear out some of this debris out of here. Trash can's over there. And then we'll move on to the next steps, which I believe include powering it on. Which looks very interesting. Okay. 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 Did a quick adjustment on a few cameras real quick. I should probably remove the shrink wrap off this guy before I start thinking about plugging things in. Although it hasn't mentioned specifically plugging cables in yet. Interesting how it goes from, it doesn't even talk about, and I'm just thinking for the sake of newbies here, we go straight from putting the gantry on and installing the Z to doing the filament. And then the next step, it's showing first print. So I think you skipped a few steps. Then shows about loading the filament. Well, okay, well, I guess we're just gonna connect what I think should go where. So I am assuming you are gonna go here like so. And let me show you that, that's an interesting connector. That's worth sharing. So, yeah, so this is interesting. I'm curious how this is gonna work in the long term. It's an interesting connector. But, so there's our bed. I should probably do the satisfying peeling of the this glass bed. How is that attached? It looks like is it adhered? Huh. Well, it looks like that glass bed is glued on. Yeah, it was, So, yeah, it's staying. I would have much rather seen this have clips or something so that you can remove it, but I am not seeing where, yeah, this looks like similar to a few others where it is glued on. Very interesting. Okay, well, they haven't left us a lot of good information here. Let's free up the top of this thing here, because I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the camera, and if not, let me go over here. So yeah, the instructions have definitely gone from wire up the gantry to load filament, and this is, so that needs some help. So we're going to get in there, and I think they included a wrench. I think they included all the usual things that you would see in a CR10. I'm sorry if that studio light is blaring at you. Yes, there is a wrench in here. I am wondering if I'm missing pages or something. How to load filament. Huh. Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff to see if I missed something obvious, because I'm notorious for doing that. Okay, so you definitely need to be tightened up. And that's definitely not the right wrench. And that's definitely not the right wrench. So 2 wrenches, and they include this one giant wrench and this very little wrench. We need something more to that scale. So I may have to steal from my other kits. Yeah, that's not right. So fortunately I have the Anycubic Chiron one right here, which looks like it's gonna maybe work. Look an eccentric nut. Maybe it's not, because that is like wicked. I mean, that wheel is like spinning in place. So this is interesting. Let me move my camera a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. So I'm trying to get in here, and it looks like an eccentric, or there's a nut anyway. I just wonder if I can. It doesn't want to budge. Well, is it really an eccentric nut? Here we go. This does not want to tighten up at all. This is bad. What's going on, guys? So I'm trying to loosen up this wheel here a little bit so this eccentric nut can move a little bit. Okay, let's pull you out a little bit. I mean, the whole thing. This wheel just spins. It's interesting because this eccentric nut I would think there'd be a spacer in there. Because what's happening is I'm trying to turn the eccentric nut where it'd make it a little bit tighter, but that just puts it flush with the carriage it's on. What have I done? Yeah, that is like wicked, wicked loose. Huh. So it looks like that wheel basically wants to come out now. Yeah, I think what's happening is I've loosened this so that the nylon nut wants to spin too, which is right in here. That's an interesting design choice. Hey Molly, what's up? So what we need so that eccentric nut doesn't have any real room. I should grab, what size are you? Oh, I think pliers will work. So what's happened is the lower wheel on that is way loose. If you loosen it at all, or if you try to tighten up the eccentric nut goes right against the carriage. It doesn't have enough turns to make it tighter. So, what's the best way to fix that? Well, can't compare to those printers because they don't have them. All right. I mean, literally the whole print head could come off of this thing, the way it's currently set up. But why is it crooked? Well, what a riddle. That's an interesting way to put a carriage together. Yeah, because you're going to, I mean, everything is just free spinning here. I don't understand why they made that so loose. Let's give it another twist the other way here. I keep twisting. I should go a little bit here. Maybe. I mean, this thing literally, that's just not good, guys. It's, let me move the camera here. So the whole thing is, you know, it's supposed to be straight up like this, but again, it wants to fall inward. And there's no travel on the eccentric nut to tighten that up. That is so weird. Yeah, it's something. It's always the simple stuff. Yeah, because these, I mean, because if we leave it like this, it's going to be printing at an angle. I mean, printing at an angle is kind of fun, but yeah, that carriage has some problems. All right, you've been tightened up. Let's see if I can make you go a little higher. Try not to break this thing. Well, I got it a little tighter, but man, that's terrible. That's really... That might be the best I can get it. But wow. Yeah, this is... I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be optimistic. But wow. I think the eccentric nut is covering for as much as it can cover for. Yeah, wheels are all tight. Yikes. Yeah, this is interesting. Of all the places I expected to have issues with the a printer like this, that wouldn't have been where, to be honest with you. Again, let me move get the other camera here so you can see what I'm looking at straight on. This way you can see I'm not embellishing or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that bottom wheel is just spinning away in the channel. I still got plastic debris in there. That's interesting. Yep, so this guy's gonna... Is there anything else I can do for this to make this better? Am I missing the obvious? Actually, surprisingly, the belts feel good. Checking that while I'm in here. It's just that this is just spinning away and, you know, rocking back and forth and trying to do a print that's if I could literally go up just a bit more. I just don't know if that eccentric has... I mean, I know I can spin an eccentric either way. Let me see if I... That happens if I turn it the other way. Ooh. Maybe better? Maybe? Maybe not. See, what you want is you want to be able to, on the tightest wheel, you know, to use the wheel to move the gantry. And this thing is just not doing it. And then that goes lower. So that's the highest position, it looks like. And I don't see any ability to... I mean, this whole gantry could literally just come off. So the wheel is just dangling here at the moment. It's tucking you out. I feel like I've been going in circles for the last few minutes. No pun intended. And the enclosure is printed, so I don't want to squeeze on that. That's about as tight as I can make it, but I don't anticipate success. Yeah, I mean, look how much play that has. Why would you make it that way? Why wouldn't you'd think even before it leaves the factory they would at least try to tighten that up and even do a test print on it. It's almost as if the carriage isn't the right size. Well, I was all excited to get this guy printing, and this may not be in the cards tonight. Come on, stay on there. No, they said this was a sample, so I'm hoping the production version doesn't have this issue. Yeah, that cooling fan mount does look like it's probably going to blast air on the side of the nozzle. That was something I was looking at early on as well too. So there's definitely a few aha moments on this guy. Oh, the cats are back. And well guys, what do? Do we press on? Oh, I gotta at least take that front label off. This LCD thing here. Maybe it'll come off. So next steps would be looking at the next steps. As I said, it goes from step 2 to install the material rack to step 3, first print. It wants us to do leveling. Power cord. I don't know, guys. That dumpster fire, Jeff. Kind of wondering that. It's just sad that the only other thing I can think of is, I mean, it'd be cool if the top of the ski entry is slots and not just screw holes, but I suspect they're just, I can quickly check that though. You know, I have a little toolkit behind me. I'm trying to use it. And you are going to do this as. Let's see what happens when I take these top wheels off. Maybe we can salvage this after all. No, those are just circles. Holes in the gantry rail, so I can't adjust any height from that. I am, however, going to, because I am super curious, going to remove this. And I'm going to remove the other one as well, because I want to see what the gantry looks like. And I thought the question marks on this were going to be the electronics. But no. We have a V-slot wheel gantry that is wicked loose, that there's no way it would print successfully. And be careful not to harm our ribbon cable here. Oh, we're still snagged up on the belts. No, there's zip ties. Great. Let's see. So what's neat is, I'm sorry, I should have this a little closer. So this, right now, there we go, he's in there. Clear in the channel, good. But the catch is to make so for him to be flush, I'm just randomly reattaching things with optimism. What did they say? 10 minutes to install and you're printing? Well, I'd say that we've been bitten by the quality control. Okay, that's tight on that guy, and as you can see, I mean, it's just literally not keeping the wheel in the channel. Let me look at my chat buffer, see if my peers have any great ideas. It does look like a volcano nozzle. Yeah. Hi, Mark. Yeah, it looks like it has a knockoff volcano hot end. Come on, you. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I was hoping that there might be some chance that there's some adjustment on the top V-slot wheels, but there is not. Yeah, it's still tippy. And I believe this is fully engaged as close as it's going to get. And it's still does not 20. I mean, it's just, you can see this wheel is just respinning. It's not in the channel, and I think I've gone as far as that eccentric will allow. Yeah. That's a problem. Oh, take a breath. Yep, that don't look right. I mean, we can force a bad situation, and we can, but I mean that's bad. I'll send an email to them and let them know that this particular one has a very screwed up gantry. And no matter how much you tighten it, that's as close as she'll go. Nuts. Yeah, I think eccentrics on all of them would be a good idea. I wonder if I have some on hand. I don't think I do. I would have to steal them from another printer. But certainly the ability to do that would be nice. I think you're right, JDC. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think you're absolutely right. If all four of those, all three had the ability to adjust, that would solve our problem. Right now, with it being at its absolute closest, and I'll go back to the camera again, I'm probably, as you can see here, this wheel is just sitting here and it's spinning. For it to be, it should be here, and it's not holding that straight. And to further make my point, let me move this to the side here, just so that anyone thinks I'm smoking my lunch here or something. Let me lower that down a few cranks. Okay, and ready? Yeah, so that's definitely not what you want. So that's unfortunate. Other than that, I mean, it looks like an interesting printer to give a whirl. Z1 Power, you make a great point. Maybe you missed our video a year or two ago when G-Tech sent us a printer. And it had a bent lead screw, and the knob didn't work. It took literally 30 turns for it to move anywhere. And, you know, honestly, that was the kind of defect that had anyone on the assembly line or whatever they have over there would have turned the device off and on and said, hey, the button doesn't work well. Or, hey, when I try moving the Z-axis up and down, it binds up. That would have been the issue. Now, I mentioned these points in a video on that, and oh my God, the G-Tech fanboys tore me a new one. Oh, you know, how dare you expect quality control at that price point? Okay, sure. So, hello, Molly again. Well, I was hoping that we would have a print going by now because, you know, the advertising says that it's up and running in 10 minutes. And largely, I would agree with that if, you know, the instructions were, you know, a little bit more clear. I mean, I like the fact there was multi-language and there's a lot of information here. But when you go from plugging the gantry in to let's print, it's like, whoa, maybe we should plug the bed in and a few things like that. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Like I said, if you're seeing this on the replay, let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to take a short video and send an email to the folks in China that sent this over. Let them know that Houston, there is a problem, and see what they suggest doing. Maybe they'll send the parts needed to make it work right. Eccentric nuts, as JDC mentioned, might be a really good idea on the top pieces of the gantry. But, you know, you can't print when you have a, carriage swinging, easily, almost a full inch. That's not going to be good. So that's it. That's all I got tonight. Well, I know what kind of prints I'm going to get. They're going to be awful. But what I'm going to do, in fairness to them, let's see what they suggest as a resolution to fix this. So I'll stop right where I am. I don't feel that since this was sent to me for review and as a sample, maybe I have a beta. I'll give them that. Maybe this is a sample or an early release. But let's see what they say. And I'll get back to you guys. Maybe we'll come back and do another live stream tomorrow, find out what they say. Being they're a reseller, they're probably going to go out. We don't know. But who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised. So we'll pause right here. And trust me, I have other printers that we can certainly do some videos on. The Anycubic Chiron has been a disaster. I've spent weeks trying to make that work. They sent it to me inexpensively. It was Amazon return. And like any return, you never know what you're going to get inside the box. And this thing has been a box of horrors. The FT6 behind me over here is a quiet beast now. It has a Duet SKR inside of it. Trevor Schultz and I are still doing some fine tuning on it, but it's been doing some really nice prints and test prints recently. So there'll be videos on that. Ariron is sending me their newest printer, the ER20. That's on the way. Hope to have some big information shortly on that. And of course, I mentioned I got that CR10S Pro recently, and that's going to be upgraded. That will be the subject of another video because we like doing videos. And I'm also going to do a tutorial on doing temperature towers because that was something of a mystery to me. And then someone led me in the direction of a good tutorial on how to do it. And I'm happy to share my take on that and help others. So it is 10:08 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. It's about time for me to think about crashing out, going to bed. And I wish you guys a good night. Hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow or some sort of updates on this. As always, this is where nerdy is cool. And you've experienced about an hour and a half of blooper reel of me trying to get this thing up and running.